Hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the world of Neurographica. My name is Lana. Shalom. I am one of the co-founders of the world of Neurographica, along with my partner, Margarita Miller. And today I am here to introduce you to this is an introduction to the basics course. We are starting tomorrow. Many of you have signed up. Some of you still have chance to sign up. I am here today to talk. I will tell you about the basics course, and I will be explaining to you one of the major parts of the basics course, which is the pyramid of consciousness, which is an amazing, unique model of development that was developed by Pavel Piskaryov, the author of Neurographica. He actually created many, many various amazing, unique models. Today, we will focus on the pyramid and its specific connection to the Neurographica, why it's connected to Neurographica, how Neurographica works, and why Neurographica works. Okay. First and foremost, I would like to tell you about, hi Mels, hello, beautiful, thank you. Glad to see you here. First and foremost, I would like to tell you about the basics course. Okay, what is it about? Because people have been asking me what it's about, and I said, why don't I tell you live when I go to draw? Okay. Interesting. I see myself having captions. Okay, I'm gonna change my camera. Do me a favor. If you get stuck when I change my camera, all you need to do is reload your browser and just go back, make sure you go back into the world of Neurographica. I should be there live, okay? There you go. First, there's gonna be some magical moments where you see my hands appearing, right? Because we all know Neurographica is a magical method. Those of you who already use it, you know what I'm talking about. And those of you who don't, I think you know what I'm talking about also, because I think you have an idea how magical it is, which is why you're in a wonderful group. Okay, so let's start. Give me a second. I realized that I need to get another marker, right? Those of you who know what I'm talking about, right? My markers go quickly. This is ultra fine. Where's my fine markers? Okay, sorry. I thought my markers were fine, but this one is dying out. I just finished the session and realized that this marker is dying out. No worry, I have another one. Okay, let's use our black marker. One of those things, you know, your kids take your markers. My kids took my black marker. Okay, how about this today? How about I use a blue marker for today's session? What do you think? Let me know. You should be able to see it, okay? Yeah. There's always aqua. Okay. Let me know if you see me. Let me know if you don't. Let me know what's happening. First and foremost, okay. Out the basics. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay. Good. Let's go. Okay. So let's talk about the basics course first. Okay. What is the basics course? The basics course is exactly what it's called. The basics, the very, very first step in Neurographica. Actually, when people ask me, I saw, I have people who email me, who PM me, and they ask me, and they say, hi, Lana, I saw some pictures by friends, or I saw something. How do I start Neurographica? And what I actually tell them is, why don't you first go and look at many beautiful videos that we have. I have a lot of open videos on my YouTube channel, and I tell them, why don't you watch them more and see, is it something you like? I have one basic elements in introduction to Neurographica. That was my very first video in Neurographics that I made about 3 years ago already. And I tell people, more than 3 years ago, yeah. And I tell people, Somebody's asking me something. 1 second. Okay. And I told them, go watch some videos and see, you know, because if you come straight, some people come straight to the basics course, and you know, those are the people that I know. They take one course after another with me, and that's what it is, right? They know they're serious about learning Neurographica. Most of the people I say, why don't you watch, learn something, see if it's yours, you know? Try Neurographica, touch Neurographica, feel Neurographica, let it permeate you, your life, you know, your being, and then 1 second, somebody's asking me for the link. Give me a second, everybody. I'm so sorry. Somebody cannot enter, so I'm trying to allow that person to come in. Okay. Voila. And I tell them, try Neurographic first. And then if you feel that this is something, you know, and most of the time that's how people start, right? They look at the free video online and they're like, oh, this is so interesting. And then they go further. Excellent, Liaha Marie. I'm so glad to see you. Excellent. Great. Great. And then they go further. Then they decide, they understand that they need the basics course. They understand that they need, you know, all the other components to help them understand what Neurographica is, how it works, why it works, you know, every single step. What we're going to do today is actually, we're going to discuss with you the pyramid of consciousness, which is going to give you a very deep psychological understanding of how Neurographica is based, what is it based on. And I'll give you some insight, some look into the 7 steps of the algorithm that we'll learn in details during the basics course. So what does a basics course entails, okay? We will learn the 7 steps of the algorithm, like I mentioned. Of the algorithm, okay? Now, some people ask me, and the word algorithm is a very mathematical word, okay? I have some friends who tell me like, oh, my friends are interested in Neurographica, but they're like, algorithm? What do you mean algorithm, right? Algorithm is more of a mathematical word, but what the word algorithm means is the steps, the way something works, why something works, and the way something works, okay? The word algorithm within Neurographica means the psychological process, the process of achieving results, okay? Something I want to mention, Neurographica, many people come to Neurographica for different reasons. Some people come because they love the art. Some people come because it's a beautiful coaching method. Some people come because they see somebody get results, you know, they draw about some topic and the topic comes true. People come to Neurographica for various reasons. Some of them are quite mystical. They just feel drawn to it, right? My answer, what I want to note is that Neurographica is all of those things. Neurographica is a great coaching method. Neurographica is a neuro artistic creation, right? If you're an artist, you will see Neurographica as from a point of an artist. Some people will see it as something mystical and exciting. Some people will see it as some spiritual practice, and that's true too. All of them are true, okay? The founder of Neurographica, Pavel Piskaryov, has so many wonderful combinations within him, right? He is a Reiki master. He's an architect. He is a professional coach, right? He is an artist, okay, a professional artist, right? He is, what do you call that? He is a diver, a professional. He is he learns integrative Eastern practices professionally also, right? He teaches others about it. Honestly, there's so much about him. And what he did is, that's the beauty of this method, that he took all of his knowledges. Oh, and he is, of course, a PhD in psychology. I should mention that, right? It's very important because this method is really based on psychology a lot, and he took all of those knowledges he had, combined it together, voila. And the result, we got this amazing, wonderful method called Neurographica. Okay. So the 7 steps of the algorithm, when he used the word algorithm means the sequence of the steps, or having a certain um, way of doing. There's a process of achieving something. Okay. And that's what the word algorithm means in here. Okay. Now, what else will we learn? We will learn specifically today the pyramid of consciousness. Okay. Now, that's something we're going to cover today. What are we doing the next 3 sessions? Specifically, one will start tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST. And we're going to have 2 more sessions, one on Sunday at 1 p.m. London time, and the next one next Thursday at April 14th at, again, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are we learning? What we're learning is we're going to learn the 4 basic algorithms. Okay. What are they? The very first, the major one that's going to help you. Basically, I want to know that also basics course is more of a self-coaching. Why? Because the very first algorithm is called algorithm for removing limitations. What does it mean, removing limitations? Let's say you want to achieve something in your life. Remember, this is a coaching method, right? So it's all about what are the goals you're setting for yourself to achieve, okay? You want to achieve something in life? And the very first question I'm going to ask you, why didn't you achieve this in life before? Why haven't you achieved it yet? Okay, the very simplistic example would be somebody wants to earn a lot of money, or make a lot of money, or become a millionaire. The overly simplistic example. And I would ask, why aren't you a millionaire yet? Right? And what they do, the very first thing we work is limitation. There are limitations both within us and outside of us. Within us, introspectively, right? Some blocks, some inhibitions, and there are limitations outside of us, society based, right? You can tell me I can't earn $1 million, or I don't know, I didn't win a lottery yet. Many different answers you can give me, a lot actually. So, algorithm for removing limitations is exactly that. I teach you a step. That's why it's an algorithm, a process of how to remove limitations in your life to reach your goal. Okay, so that will be algorithm number 1. Algorithm number 2 and 3 will be 2 variations of ARL. That's short for algorithm for removing limitations. Express. One will be express stretching. It's called stretching, where I teach you, and that has worked wonders for many people, how, let's say you go and you have a situation where you need to remove limitation, where you are stuck in some kind of situation. You need to achieve some kind of result quickly. The best example would be when I was in London a few years ago, and I was stuck in an airport. I was in London for like 6 hours planning to go and touring the town, the city, London. And I realized that I'm going to be stuck in the airport. I didn't realize, I've never been to London before, that apparently airports there get quite stuck here, right? You can get stuck in there for like 2 hours, maybe, if you're lucky. And I got so upset. I was like, I'm losing valuable time here. So what did I do? I just took out my phone and I started drawing. I actually always carry also small sketchbook like this, right? With a set of markers with me all the time, and markers and pencils. And I started using the ARL Express. 10-15 minutes. I drew the quick ARL, removing the limitations so I can get out of the airport quickly and explore the town, the city. And guess what? They opened up as I started to draw. 2 more counters have opened up, and then 1 more even came. So 3 more counters opened up, and people, like, I went quickly through the line, That really works, okay? I want to tell you, when I'm not here to tell you about the miracle stories that happens when you draw Neurographica, but I am here to tell you that there is ARL Express, an express method that you can quickly draw and get the results you want. One will be stretching, one will be big figures, okay? Okay, and then there is a fourth. The fourth one is called the algorithm for revealing of intentions, okay? What is revealing of intentions? Remember how I said that if you need a goal, if you have a goal, you just want to draw to get to your goal. You want to remove the limitation to get to your goal. So what is the revealing of intention? Sometimes when a person is under stress, and sometimes when a person has some kind of, anxiety, and the person feels the necessity, they need to draw Neurographica because it's an amazing healing art. So what do? They take out the algorithm for revealing the intention using Neuroline to understand what is it that you're seeking to, first of all, relax, improve your anxiety, improve your meditational, state of mind, and then figure out what is it that you're seeking, right? Sometimes the mind is kind of like clouded. You don't always know what you want. It's okay. And sometimes you have so many things. You're like, I want this and this and that. I don't know which one I want to focus on. This algorithm is great for that. It will allow you to understand what is the true focus that you're seeking now. Okay. So what else will we be learning at the basics course? We will learn the 10 principles in Neurographica. We will learn them in details. We will also learn the deeper understanding of how Neurographica works, the psychological understanding. Besides what we're going to do today, the pyramid of consciousness, we're going to learn the deep psychology, why it works, what's the background there, why does it work this way. We will discuss the system, the, the structure of Neurographica, and what you need to do in order to help yourself. Again, the basics course is for self-coaching, okay? You do this, you work this out. It's 9 hours. Most of the time it's even more because sometimes I go over the 3 hours, and that's okay. We give everything in recording. All of the sessions will be recorded, will be given to you. You will have access to all the materials. Plus, more than that, what's unique about our World of Neurographica courses is that I personally, within my teaching, I provide lesson plans, okay? What does it mean? They're lesson plans, not just for me, they're lesson plans for you, okay? You take them, and let's say you don't want to go, if you want to draw something and you don't remember some step or something, you don't want to go through 9 hours of videos and trying to remember where each was. You take my lesson plans, you just skim through it, you look quickly through the structure and the schema that I wrote down for you of everything we'll learn, and you're like, oh, this is what I need to do, and you do it, okay? And of course, those who are signed up with a certification, or those of you who want to get a certification, why do you need a certification? Certification is great if you're planning to explore Neurographica professionally. What does it mean professionally? If you're planning to become a specialist, that will be actually given in May. It will be given in May 6th, I believe. Okay. We're going to do Neurographica basics this week and next week. And then I give you 2 more weeks to complete all your work, finish up your drawing. And if you want to go further, welcome. Specialist in Neurographica is somebody who uses Neurographica within their professional practice. Okay. You will be given 6 more algorithms to use. Plus, remember how I said that the basics course is for self-coaching, right? Well, guess what? And you can, when you get the basics certification, you can use it for your own self-coaching, okay? You don't have enough knowledge yet to teach it to others. You don't have enough understanding yet, right? Because you're going to practice and you learn, but you're not yet equipped to provide the information about Neurographica to others. So what the specialist course does is give you, first of all, we give you the tools. I personally will give you the tools and the necessary Google Slide, you know, the presentation to talk about NeuroGraphic, to present NeuroGraphic to others, okay? Second of all, you will get 6 algorithms, plus you will be allowed to use the 4 algorithms you learn in the basics course within your professional, again, within your professional field. You cannot teach it to others. That's something to keep in mind, because teaching it to others would involve becoming an instructor, which is starting very soon, okay? At the end of this month, we're going to start the instructor's course, okay? And in order to become an instructor, you should get your basics course certification and, of course, your specialist. Why? Why do you need to get your specialist? Because once you get your specialist course, you can start practicing Neurographica within your professional field. You can start practicing with your client. You can start practicing with your friends, right? If you know what you're going to do, right? And you can start understanding, do you really want to make this your professional, your profession for life, basically? And you can decide, do you want to become an instructor? Because the instructor course entails 9 months of learning, okay? That's more serious and that's a lot of work. It's a lot of fun, I must tell you, but it's also a lot of work, and it's great for somebody who wants to do professional. Let's say you don't want to become an instructor, but you still want to take the 9 algorithms that are given at the instructor's course. You're welcome to do that. I have people doing that because I teach all of the algorithms separately. Some of them I already teach and I have them on sale. You're welcome to PM me for that. And some of them we're teaching now and will be coming within the next 2 months, okay? We're having the neuro sketching now, the neuro mandala will be neuro timing, neuro goal, all of the important algorithms you're still welcome to take separately, not a part of the instructor course, because you may not need it. Not everybody take the instructor course, become instructors and teach it to others. It's, you know, it's very specific. Mel, if you have a question, can my pieces be reviewed even if I don't apply for the certificate at the end? I will look at your pictures. If you ask me, yes, I will review it. Usually not so much, because that's the reason why we have the certification and not certification. Why? Because of the supervision. So, but if, let's say, I'm going to explain to you how I would look at your picture. If, let's say, you put a picture in the group, you signed up for the basics already, so I'm going to explain it to you. Let's say you drew a picture and you're not sure if you need something or not. You put it in the group and you ask me a question. You ask me or Margarita, my partner, and say, Lana or Margarita, can you tell me, did I do this right? Is something missing in my picture? Did I go according to the 7 steps? I can look at any Neurographica picture and see whether they have been done according to the 7 steps of the algorithm or not. And that's the main part of learning the basics course, learning the 7 steps, learning how to do the neural line, learning how to do the rounding, you know, connecting the neural line, integrating them together. Okay, so for a learning purpose, again, you put the picture and say, can you let me know if this is okay? And I will give you a general supervision. But those of you who signed up for the certification, you will be a bit more, we have more demands what it is. Each, you need to provide a picture, 1 picture for each algorithm. Remember, 4 algorithms, so 4 pictures you need to provide. 2 of them, you pick which 2, and you write supervision, and we will give you a very deep supervision on all of you, on 2 of those pictures. Okay, but we need to see all 4 just to see how you understand the algorithm, okay? And of course, the important part you will learn is awareness practice, okay? This is very important. The awareness practice is the way to understand how Neurographica and why Neurographica also works, and how to practice. It's becoming aware. When you draw Neurographica, you become aware of all aspects of who you are, your body, your emotions, your thoughts, your perception. Nowadays, it's even called, Pavel gave a new term for it, it's called a reflection. Okay, you will learn how to be reflective. You will learn how to bring reflection within Neurographica. Now how we do reflection when we do meditation. Now how we learn to see the thought, but not analyze it. This is what we're going to learn how to do in Neurographica. Focus on your drawing. Focus on your goal at hand and achieve your goal. That's the most important part of Neurographica. That's my goal in teaching you. Besides the fact that you will draw the most beautiful pictures you will ever have, And yes, even if you're not a professional artist, you will feel like an artist because, and that's what Pavel says, as soon as you start drawing Neurographica, you become an artist. And that's a beauty in it. Okay. So when you become, I want to go back to specialist in Neurographica, you get the 6 new algorithms. Can you see me? Did I disappear? 1 second. Okay. I appeared again. Okay, good. Plus, you will get a right to use the 4 algorithm you learned in the basics course with your clients, okay, for personal professional purposes only, okay? Again, you cannot teach to others until you become the instructor. Within the 6 algorithm, I must know there are 3 algorithms, the most popular algorithms, and you've probably seen people do that. It's called the Neuro Tree, Neuro Lotus, and NeuroRain. These 3 algorithms, you are allowed to make master classes with them. You're allowed to have open group sessions explaining to people how to draw the NeuroTree, NeuroLotus, NeuroRain. Okay, but remember, only instructors are allowed to openly teach Neurographica. The specialists are allowed to use it within their professional practice. And again, those 3 algorithms, you're allowed to openly give master classes to groups of people. Okay. Now, if you have any more questions about the basics course, please feel free to ask me now. If you're going to watch this in recording, feel free to ask me in the group or PM me. I am available. Welcome to ask me. If you have a specific question, you're welcome to ask me. If you have a specific professional situation that you feel like you don't know if you can use Neurographica within your setting or not, feel free to ask me. I have graduated Neurographic in 2018. I've been practicing Neurographic for about 3-4 years, right? I started practicing it not professionally for myself before I became the instructor. And then, of course, as I became the instructor, I started practicing it professional with other people. And of course, I am a supervisor at the instructor's course in Russian, and I will be the instructor and supervisor of the instructor's course in English as it's coming up. So what that means is that we have a whole array of people that I talk to, and people who come to the instructor's course and become instructors or specialists or take the basics course are not people who are psychologists or coaches or yoga teachers. They really come from all kind of different parts of life, backgrounds. And it's important to know that, people come and they become instructors and they start utilizing it within their personal and professional life. So everything is possible, which is why I'm saying that I know so many cases and so many stories of people turning their life around and coming from a completely different background. I have friends, colleagues who were nail technicians, who had nothing close to even being, having to do with art or psychology or coaching. They become successful, amazing instructor. Okay, just want to let you know. How long do people typically wait before taking the instructor's course? No, you don't have to practice months or years. You can start going for the instructor's course right away. It's really very personal. You don't have to. It's not a requirement. I completely suggested myself. I personally suggest getting your basics and your specialist as soon as possible before the instructor's course start, which will start, I believe, at the end of this month, I think May 1st even, we're starting the basics part of the instructor's course. I'm not sure. We have to figure out. Still, everything is not clear. I'm waiting for the word from the Institute. But the point is that as soon as the instructor's course starts, you already have your basics and your specialist. And the important part is for you to start practicing and understanding. Is it something you want to do or not? I have people who think they want to take the instructors, and then they take the specialist, and they're fine. I have friends who are specialists and they're professional coaches, and they're like, we're good. We don't need the instructor's course. I realize they tell me, because I am quite, what do you call it, satisfied using the 6 algorithm from the specialist course and the 4 from the basics within my practice. I don't need extra. She says, if I need extra, I go and I take the extra one of the 9 algorithms course separately and just utilize it within my practice as necessary, okay? And that's the beauty of it. With a specialist, you can utilize the algorithm within your professional setting, you know? So that's not a requirement to have months and years of practicing, okay? When you become an instructor, there is more requirements. You have to take tests. You have to give in an essay of you understanding how you understood the basics course and the each algorithm. And then, of course, with the instructors, there's a diploma that you have to strive for. And then you take it, and next year you have a choice of becoming also a supervisor and helping those that are within the other people who are entering the instructor's course, okay? So I do want to tell you about the pyramid, okay? Let me know if you have more questions. I will be answering, but I want to go ahead and introduce you to something amazing, which is called the pyramid of consciousness, okay? The pyramid of consciousness is exactly what it is. It's a pyramid. A pyramid is a triangle. A triangle is one of the basic elements of Neurographica, okay? 1 second. Okay. Let me put this away. The pyramid is a triangle, okay? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly connect you, okay? I can't tell you fully about all of the 7 steps of the algorithm because it's such a vast, it's such a deep subject, not vast, deep subject that it will not be even possible for me to try to disclose it to you within the next, 30, 40 minutes, okay? But I want to make that connection, and you will learn more about it at the basics course, okay? We have 7 steps of the algorithm, okay? Okay, and the pyramid, as you can all understand, let me ask you, how many layers will the pyramid have? I think you'll get the idea. And the pyramid has 7 layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I need 7. Okay, 7 will be here. Okay. We'll make our pyramid even longer, okay? Okay. So what is the pyramid of consciousness, okay? This is the development of Pavel Piskaryov, PhD, the founder of Neurographica, actually before he developed Neurographic, okay? Neurographica, I might add, is a very new method. This year, actually, we will be celebrating Neurographica, I believe 7 years in Neurographica, yeah. This year it will be 7 years on April 29th, okay? And 29th, 1 second, trying to gather my thoughts, got lost a bit. So Neurographic is a fairly new method. This year, the Russian cohort is only the 6th cohort, just so you know, the English speaking will be the 1st cohort. And this year we will be practicing, this year is the 7th year. So Neurographic is fairly new. The pyramid of consciousness, I believe Pavel discovered, he founded it, he structured it, he created it about 10 years ago, maybe 8 to 10 years ago, definitely before Neurographica, because Neurographica is based upon it. So what is the pyramid of consciousness? It's the way our consciousness work, okay? Both subconscious, conscious. Let's go one by one and I'll explain it to you, okay? We go levels by levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. The first level is the basic, most common level. It's our body. It's called, we call it active consciousness. This is the way we connect to what's happening around us. Okay. This is what's happening. What is going on? I need to draw. I pick up a marker and I utilize it. Okay. Straightforward. Cause, connection between antecedent and cause and an action, right? And when we go according to the 7 steps of the algorithm, this is the step we call topic, theme, or goal. I also like to call it, and many of my students agree, it's a quest. Okay. You go on a quest, trying to achieve something. Okay. Trying to achieve a goal, trying to get something, trying to get somewhere. Okay. This can be both internal growth, internal goal, or external. Okay. And that occurs on the on the level of the body, active consciousness. Okay. The body actually goes to both levels. 1 and 2 are both body, connection to the body. Topic. Okay. Step number 2 within the pyramid is called operational consciousness. Okay. This is active consciousness, right? What do I need? You're very active. This is happening as you think, as you speak. Every multi-second, you're breathing. Breathing is actually not active, but it's happening. Okay. I need to flip. I flick my fingers. I need to draw. I pick up a marker. The next step is operational consciousness. This is an understanding that every action, every effect has a cause. What is the connection between cause and effect? Why am I doing this and not doing that? This is the connection to 5 senses, okay? This is how we process our 5 senses. Operational consciousness are the actions we take within our consciousness. In active consciousness, if we focus on the topic, what do I need? Becoming aware of something, right, within my life. Operational consciousness is doing something, exploring, understanding how the world works through the 5 senses, okay? I see with my eyes, excuse me. I hear with my ears. I breathe in through my nose and I smell through my nose. I talk or I eat or I process and I breathe. Also breathing not just through the nose, breathing also happens through the mouth. I utilize my mouth, right? And of course, drawing, I utilize my hands. I explore the world through the 5 senses, okay? When it comes to the step of the algorithm, this refers to the composition, okay? When we draw the composition, we use the hand and we draw the composition. When it comes to the removing limitations algorithm, we do usually the catharsis, the throw. We express our frustration of not achieving the goal we want on the paper. That's called composition, and that refers to operational consciousness. What's next? The next step we go to, and I want to make a connection here, not a connection, either the opposite. I want to make a differentiation. This was the body level. What we're going to do now, this was the conscious level, right? Body and the conscious mental level. What are we doing now? We continue with our conscious, but we're going on a different level. We're going into our subconscious, okay? Okay, 2 levels of our subconscious, okay? We have the individual subconscious, and we're also going to have our group subconscious, okay? What is our individual subconscious? Individual subconscious is when I have a subconscious, I have an understanding, right? With development of the field of psychology, of the coaching, we have a bit more understanding of what our subconscious is, right? We start understanding what do we want? Why do we want, right? If I want to become an instructor in Neurographica, I can tap in within my subconscious, not so easily. Not everybody are able to do it, but most of the time people are, right? You can start doing some meditation. You can start tapping in and understanding, oh, I think I want to become an instructor because maybe I want to help people, or maybe I want to become an instructor because I come from a line of educators, or maybe I have this deep and yearning desire that I wanted to be an artist and I never got a chance to be. That's why I want to learn to become an instructor in Neurographica. Whatever the reason is, it's within your individual subconscious. It's your individual reasons why you want to do what you want to do. When it comes to the steps of the algorithm, this would be the rounding step, right? This is when we start rounding everything we need to do, okay? I just realized, let me draw, okay? First we had a topic, then we had a composition. We do the throw, okay? The throw, what happens next to the throw, we need to round it. Why? Because this is an expression, a frustration of who you are on the inside. And you want to start acknowledging it, that this is a deep part of who you are. This is a part of who you are. This is a part of what you have within you, okay? This strange looking line that goes through the square, through the frame that I just drew, is really a deep part of your subconscious. And that's what you acknowledge. When you do the rounding, you're acknowledging your deep individual, and you deal with your deep individual subconscious thoughts, understandings, and everything else. Then we have something called group subconscious. That's when we get to the next level. What is group subconscious? Group subconscious is when we deal with egregores. What is egregores? Egregores are social norms, okay? Egregores are like society norms, okay? If you live in New York City, you have to follow the rules of New York City. Those rules are made up by the mayor of New York City and the governor of New York State, right? And the federal, right? Egregores are the rules, the social norms, the societal norms we live in. It can be, like I mentioned, on the level of living in a city. It can be on a religious, right? If you belong to a certain religious group, you follow their laws, their rules, and their norms. And if you don't, what happened? The egregore will what? Will tell you, I'm sorry, you cannot be a part of us. If you don't follow our rules, you're going to have to be asked to leave, right? To go to a movie theater and you watch a movie and you start laughing and talking loudly with somebody, they will ask you to leave. Why? Because you're not following the societal, the norm that are expected from somebody who goes to the movie. And that means being quiet and not talking loudly and allowing everybody else around you to watch a movie. That's an egregore. Whenever you enter a certain societal group or a societal connection, like a form, you have to follow the rules of those society. And we also enter group subconscious is myth, okay, and archetypes. Now, I explained so much about egregores. What does it have to do with anything? Now, egregores, like I mentioned, remember how I mentioned it's societal? So that's group subconscious, right? When you're in a society, you don't just go by your own individual needs, like I mentioned about the movie theater. You have to go by the egregores. That means everybody who go in the movie theater are in the movie theater egregores, right? And you need to follow. And that has been developed not just once when you go to the movie. That has been developed for many, many years, ever since the movie theaters have been invented, right? If you go to an opera and you talk loudly, the same thing will happen. And opera theaters are existent much longer than the movie theaters, right? Egregores are societal norms that have been taking place for many, many years and centuries, okay? Centuries. And that's something that becomes a part of the group subconscious, okay? Individuality will be dissolved within. And that's important to know because that figure is 4.1 and 4.2. We have in number 4, we have two aspects. 4.1 is figure and background. Okay, what is figure and background? Is when I take this individual transformation that I did and I say, you know what? I'm not the only one who lives like this. I'm not the only one undergoing this. and I add some neurolines to make this a part of the society. As I add neurolines, I become a part of the environment. I bring in the society within here because you know what? I'm not the only one who experiences problems. Let's say with the example I gave, becoming a millionaire, right? So as I transform myself, I transform the society. I transform my surrounding, okay? My surrounding will get transformed as well now. Look what happens. What did you do? Remember that original catharsis, the throw that you made, the line that you drew? That became dissolved within the picture that I just created. Look at this. If you tell me now, if you ask me now, Lana, what was your original picture? I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember. I think it was something like this, but I don't remember. That's the best part. I start to understand that in order to work with my problem, I need to work with a society, right? And it's a conscious, it's a conscious, collective consciousness, collective working with the society, okay? I start understanding that laws and rules have to change on a much deeper level, right? Where not just people who are always rich for centuries can become millionaires, but people can become millionaires nowadays like start-uppers, right? Not that bad, right? People can become millionaires without having the background of a millionaire, without having some kind of family money. Right now, what's myth? Myth is like when we use some, legends and myth, like Little Red Riding Hood is a myth, right? It's a legend. Why is it a legend? Why do children, I remember thinking, why do children need to hear Little Red Riding Hood? Who meets a wolf nowadays? Who goes to the forest? So that's a legend. That's to teach people about some general concepts in life, right? The legend, the myth of the Little Red Riding Hood was to teach, let's say when they read it to children or adults, not to talk to strangers. The wolf is a stranger. Okay, there are many, many deep metaphorical understanding within that story. But just to tell you generally, that's a legend. The legends are made to teach people some general concepts. Okay, without talking personally. I don't want to say, hey, you, Jennifer, don't go to the forest and talk to the wolf. You're gonna be like, I don't talk to wolves. I don't go to the forest. What are you talking about? How do you talk to wolves? They don't talk. They're animals. And the legend is a concept that I want to bring across by telling people, no, Jennifer, it's not wise and you have to be careful when you meet strangers. And if they ask you a question or they ask you, can you tell me how to go somewhere? You have to be careful and you have to be looking around. And especially this is taught to the children to let them know that they need to ask adults. If a stranger approaches them, they need to go to the adult and say, Mom, that stranger is talking to me. And the mom will deal with the stranger and figure out that children are not supposed to go with strangers and show them how to get somewhere. That's the purpose of legends and myth, okay? General concepts. Then we have archetypes. What are archetypes? Archetypes are characters from the myth and legend that teach us something specific, right? For example, the archetype of the wolf in the story of Little Red Riding Hood, what is it? It's a negative character, right? It's somebody who will approach somebody who is, first of all, a dangerous creature. Second of all, it will approach a little girl and will start asking, right? If we talk to adults about it, right? We both understand the connotation. First of all, wolf is known as being a male figure, and Little Red Riding Hood is a little girl. You make the connection, right? So that's something, right? The archetype of a wolf is a dangerous creature. You don't talk to somebody who can be potentially dangerous. That's understanding, okay? That's archetyping. The 4.2 is actually called archetyping. That's why when we bring in coloring, we color. Why? Because when we go deep coloring, when we bring in the archetyping, we start tapping in within our deep subconscious, okay? Remember that story of Little Red Riding Hood? Guess what? I'm not the only one who heard it. My mother heard it. My grandmother probably heard it. Maybe she didn't hear that specific story, but she heard something similar where children are not supposed to go and talk to strangers, basically, right? And when I start archetyping, I start going within the deep subconscious, right? When I start adding color to my picture, Start going within deep subconscious of my egregors, of my society, of my ancestor. Start understanding and start tapping in within their energy and understanding that, I am a woman, a modern woman with so many beautiful potentials happening to me. And yes, maybe my grandmother never had a chance to be a millionaire. My grandmother was actually quite rich. Or maybe the opposite. I can say, I had people within my ancestors line who are rich. But remember, I'm explaining all of this. When you add coloring, you don't do this consciously. This is done on a deep subconscious level. That's group subconscious. Just entering into the group mode and understanding that everything that we are achieving can be achieved on a group level. Things have happened before in history and will happen again. I can do this. Okay. I can enter the new era. I can bring in the new changes within my life. You choose colors very intuitively in the beginning. Later on, you can take the NeuroColor course and understand how to bring in color consciously. But in the beginning, choose the color intuitively. As soon as I bring in color, look at this. I tap in within my subconscious. Now, what is the significance in that? The closer I go within my subconscious, the closer I go to the next level within my pyramid, which is the unconscious, okay? The next level, unconscious, okay? If this was the mental level, this is my spiritual / emotional level, right? This is called the way the life, the universe, the basic rules of living, the spiritual level. This is also the 5 elements, okay? The elemental level, okay? Not going much into the 5 elements, but basically the base point of understanding the 5 elements is the way the world is created with certain rules, certain understanding, and certain emphasis in life, okay? Number 5 will resolve to the field lines. What are field lines? And over here, if this was subconscious, this is full unconscious. Full unconscious. And something else. This level is something that Pavel calls the drive. Okay? The drive is where we have our main point of energy. In many different religions and practices, it's quite called in different ways. Some people call it the soul. You travel to the deep part of your soul, your drive, okay? Some people call it, in Kabbalistic learning, it's called Or Ein Sof, the unlimited source of energy of God, okay? Some people call it the unlimited source of energy of the universe, okay? Some people call it the divine, okay? Some people call it God. Okay, you choose the term that agrees with you the most, okay? And fifth level is when we put the field lines. What are the field lines? Remember how we put the neural lines and connected everything? Look, our picture is full of neural lines. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and add a nice thick field line through my neural line. Why? Because I want to give a direction to my picture, okay? Okay, when I put the neural line, the one big thick neural line through my picture, and of course I go through it and I round it just like I do everything else. Rounding is an important practice we'll learn thoroughly during the basics course, okay? You need to master the rounding when you finish the basics course. That's major focus with us. Why? Because that's kind of basic elements, let's use that word, elements of the way the Neurographica works, okay? Elements are the way the world is created, the way the world works, right? Many different practices are different, right? Some, let's say, religious groups, the way their world works is they have a set of rules, right? And people call it the Bible, right? That gives you a set of rules how to live the world. That's what it is, okay? Number 6 is the soul, and we call it the drive. You get to the soul, you get to this drive, is something we call emphasis, graphical emphasis, okay? Graphical affixing. What does it mean? I say, look at my picture, and I say, resources. This is bringing in resources to help you. Resources are created through different ways. I want to bring in a circle. I bring in that circle. Why? That circle means that I have help from above. It's a miracle. That circle means that I'm going to find a job, or I'm going to win some money, or I'm going to have somebody, a sponsor, who will come and say, remember you had that business idea. I'm so interested in investing money. Why don't I come and we both will decide to do this? You know, you will have a resource, whether it's through a person, whether it's through internal means, you know, within yourself. Maybe you will have more confidence starting something new or becoming an instructor, or believing that you can become a millionaire too, you know. People have done it within our generation and things happen, right? That's called graphical affixing. And that has to do with the fact that we're going deeper and deeper within your unconscious to reach something that will be the very top. That's the soul, that's the drive, that's the way your collective soul, okay? What is a collective soul? Collective soul is the way your soul is continuously, okay? Your soul already knows what you want to do in life and how to get there. You tap in within that deep unconscious understanding of what you need to do in life, and that will show its way through this picture, okay? Step number 7 is actually topic 2.0, okay? After you go deep inside your soul, your drive, your collective soul, understanding what is it that you really want in life? How will you achieve this in life? Okay. Again, remember, I'm doing this quickly. You will do it throughout like about 40 to 45 to maybe 60 minutes of drawing. And you will start understanding. I teach you. That's exactly what I do at the course. I teach you the questions you need to ask yourself and how to tap in, how to go step by step safely, permeate through each level of the pyramid to reach your soul. And then within the soul, you have an answer. That would be topic 2.0. That will tell you that, you know, remember that millionaire you wanted to do? Why don't you go ask, or why don't you start exploring this idea? It will give you a deep answer. I can't tell you now what it is because that's something you achieve as a result of going through all the 6, 7 steps. In the 7th step, you have an answer. You have an answer on how to achieve your goal, or you have an answer or what else you need to do to achieve this goal. One way or another, you get to an outcome. Topic 2.0 will also give you a clue to an outcome. Okay, what is the outcome you're trying to reach and how to reach that outcome? Now, I should mention something else. Number 7, you notice 7 over here. What is the connection to number 7? 7 colors of the universe, right? And that's a connection also. Okay, each color, each level is connected to a color. And that's sort of you who know the energy vortices study, the chakra, right? There is also a connection here, like I mentioned before, to the 5 elements. Okay, I'm not studying it now because it's much vast, much bigger topic here. Just so you know, all the integrative practices are really connected with the Neurographica, and that's such a beauty within it. That's why it works. That's why it's such a deep understanding and deep method, okay? I just gave you a very quick entrance into the Neurographica, the world of Neurographica, because studying the pyramid of consciousness, you start understanding how to tap in into your soul. And the soul has what? This is the important part to understand. When we come to the part of the soul, what do? We draw lots and lots of circles. Why? Circles are symbols of resources in Neurographica. Okay, we have 3 ways we can do resources: circle, square, and triangle. We will learn each one of them at the course. But just to give you a basic idea, once we get here, we have lots of resources coming in, and that's why, remember, I brought in that circle. That's a resource. I got this resource by going deep within my subconscious and unconscious, deep within my egregores and archetypal knowledge, right? The knowledge that has to do something with my family, my ancestor system. It gives me resources, it gives me strength, and I accept those resources and strengths once I come in here. Then once in here, on the 7th step, I already know what to do. Do you know why? Because I reached the divine state, right? And that's the purple. I reached the divine. I reached the part where I connect to the divine, to God, to the soul, to the drive, whatever is the term you want to choose, the universe. I connect to it. And it's like, you know, I understand what to do and how to do. Okay. A lot of times this pyramid can be drawn two ways, okay? One way is to draw it like this, the way I did it. And sometimes Pavel draws it like this, and sometimes Pavel turns it around, okay? And then it would be the other way around, and the colors would go the other way around, okay? Then the colors would go in the opposite direction, okay? We would go into basically like this. Then the pyramid would go like this, okay? And the red would be on the bottom. The orange will be next, and then all the other layers, okay? And you go up. It's like climbing up the mountain and reaching the top of the mountain. And when you're at the top of the mountain, can you see things differently? You have a different perspective of how things are, right? You have a different understanding of how you can achieve something, right? Like if I'm standing here, I don't know how to get here. There's a straight line, but maybe if I go to the top of the mountain, I will see that there is another pathway taking me to where I need to be. And that would be the purple. That would be the collective soul, the understanding, connecting with my soul on all levels, past, present, and future. The part of my soul that knows where I'm supposed to be a minute from now, an hour from now, 2 months from now, 10 years from now. My part of my soul that will tell me, do I need to become an instructor or should I just become a specialist? Or no, the part of my soul that will tell me, become an instructor. Because you know what? You will bring a lot of good to yourself, to your family, to the society at large. And I'll tell you, when I wanted, the way I personally became an instructor was just the calling, honestly. I had a calling and I went for it. And I remember when I was learning the course, right, halfway through, I was like, why did I even decide to become an instructor? I should have just become a specialist and just practice as a, as a coach or something. And only now, few, 1 or 2 years later, as I started becoming an instructor, as I started teaching actively, as I started doing what my original goal was, to bring Neurographica to the English-speaking community. And that was the reason, right? I came, beside the fact that I love Neurographica, I enjoy it, it's good for me personally. I always had this dream that, this is such an amazing method. I must bring it to people who don't know Russian, right? Just because they don't know Russian, should they be missing out meeting such a wonderful human being as Pavel Piskaryov? I mean, he's an incredible human being. I met him personally. He's amazing. And we may have hope. When at the instructor's course, by the way, we will have something called an intensive in the summer where we'll be gathering live. And maybe let's see how the borders work. If the borders will allow for it, maybe Pavel will come here personally. And all I'm going to tell you is that would be a most amazing experience to meet him, because he truly is an amazing human being, having created something like this and bringing it to masses of people. Okay, that's my partial personal story about how I became an instructor. And I'm very glad now I became an instructor. I truly enjoy it. I love it. I love being a part of the Neurographica world, Neurographica community. And I invite you to become a part of the Neurographica community. Join us for the basics course. We're starting tomorrow. The first session, please sign up before, because when I'm at this session, I'm leading the session, I will have a hard time seeing your messages and letting you in. The fee for the course is $150 with the certification. If you don't want a certification, it's $100, okay? We also offer like a platinum option, which would be getting your certification and getting a one-on-one coaching session with either me or Margarita. Margarita is a professional ICF certified coach. Margarita Miller, my partner, she will be teaching on Sunday and learning not just the 4 algorithms that we talked about today, but actually not just learning how to do the self-coaching, but taking a coaching session and understanding how you can use any of this algorithm for personal enrichment, for personal coaching expression, okay, to get your goal, to get to your outcome, to get the answer to that question that you're yearning to achieve, okay? Welcome to PM Me. Again, my name is Lana Shalom, certified instructor 2018, and looking forward to teaching you more tomorrow. Tap in, join. Any questions? I see nobody else is asking. Please feel free to join me and ask me or PM me, okay? Wishing you goodbye. Thank you for joining me. Just want to transfer my camera to say goodbye to you personally. If you have any questions about the content, about the fee, anything else, if you want to become a specialist, which we're starting in May, you have a specific situation you want to discuss, please feel free to contact me. I can have a one-on-one, like 10 to 15 minute consulting with you, consultation, explaining and understanding everything, how it works. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad to see you in person. Wishing you goodbye, wishing you a wonderful, beautiful day or night or morning, wherever you are. And whatever you choose to do, wishing you beautiful vibes and wonderful neurolines or lifelines, as I call them, in your life. Okay. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your synergy. And goodbye.